Hey, good. Thirsty. So at the moment we're 4 times in, we're going for the 5 times. The thing is, I know a lot of people think that it's very easy. It's very doable, yes, but I'm doing this every single day, 365 days a year, and the thing is, it's always 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then backwards, so that it's the deep dips plus knee raises, pull-ups plus knee raises, and on the parallel bars the knee raises, and then of course a lot of forward lunges. But first, because it is actually a little bit cold, the thing is, first let's finish this, the 5, we're getting to the 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, and that's 365 days a year. And then of course the runs. Now that I'm now we're in Sofia, Bulgaria. It's pretty cold. Let's say that in January the amount of kilometers put a little bit down, to be very honest. But I think at the moment I'm pretty used to the coldness. There's always levels to the coldness. Sometimes I think oh, this is pretty cold in December, and then 2 weeks later it is very, very cold. But you know, when there's no wind, it's very doable. Anyway, totally irrelevant information, I know. So let's finish this. We could hang the camera somewhere else. Is it actually still working? I think it's still working. Let's hang it over here. I don't know, everything is visible. Actually, these gloves are not the most perfect for a nice grip, so let's take them off to do the 5 times pull-ups plus knee raises, and then we're going backwards. Let's do it like this. Oh. Cold. I think I did 6, but you know, sometimes when I'm not sure, let's put an extra, and if not, then I did 5. Now we're going backwards. Always do now, especially when it's this kind of temperatures, doing a lot of windmills, simply to keep let's say the 47-year-old lower back very flexible. Okay. So 25 windmills. Now we're going backwards, and then I will start with the forward lunges. Maybe I will do it now. A little bit the forward lunges, the backward lunges. Four. And like always, what I'm saying at the young guys, They probably think it's all nothing, but you know, when you do things every single day, I got really days, at least 2 out of 7, that I feel no, I don't want to do it. And then the mental, for me, the sweet spot is at 5. I figured this out for myself. So you know what I always say when people start, you know, even if you do 1 times, 2 times, and then backwards 1 time, and then you might think, yeah, but Alan, I can do way much more. But think like this: what are you gonna do after 90 days? You still maintain it, right? I'm not saying that I know everything, but for me this is really the sweet spot, and I do believe it trains pretty much your core, your legs, your arms, your back. See, I'm not a professional training guy, but the thing is, I train to keep my brain hyperactive because I'm using it a lot. And not only am I using it, I speak non-stop. Okay, now I don't, but every single day, 7 days a week actually. So, but anyway, what did I do? See, there we go again. So I did the 4 times. Oh yeah. Okay, let's take off the gloves for the pull-ups. Oopsie daisy. One. Two. Now I calculate now I count it. By the way, I have to keep on moving because otherwise it is getting cold. This is a thermo long sleeve thing, which is very good, but you have to keep on moving. Hey, little doggy. Little doggy. Or a little doggy. It's actually a big one. And so now I did the 3 times, had the dips plus knee raises. It's always a mental thing already for me that I think I'm almost there. But today it's not taking a lot of mental effort, but I do have 2 times a week that I think, mamma mia, dragging myself to the calisthenics spots, especially when it's windy. Now it's not windy, that's pretty doable. And so when I do the knee raises on the parallel bars, I always like to spread my feet on the bottom so you can feel it around your ass. I don't know if we can use that word, but okay, wait a minute. Pull-ups 3 times, and then we go 25 windmills, and then the 2 times deep dips plus knee raises, and then it's time for a heavy coffee. Okay. See, and of course, and when you start doing it, maybe at the first time you feel a little bit brave, and you do 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 6 times, or 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times. But the thing is, do it again and again and again. And see, for me, the whole training thing is all mental. Everything is mental. And I could be also hanging in the gym where all the people are. And with all the respect to the people in the gym who really know how to build their physique, of course. But the majority of people plays with their phones, right? And not only over there, also on the calisthenics spot. And when it's, and I'm not disrespecting anybody, but the thing is, you know, as you can see, there's now also nobody. And the thing is, I think growth happens when things are not comfortable. And that symbolizes life. You know, the calisthenics steel symbolizes life. It doesn't care if you do it or not. Let's do 2 times. And again, it's no disrespect, but we all know, and when you go to the calisthenics spot, there are people, when it's beautiful weather, they're every day over there. But they don't build, I think, a physique. And I do believe that there's a lack of structure. And what I'm doing, yeah, that looks boring. But what I always say, that's the same also when I'm teaching people strategies and to generate money online or work from the phone. You have to pinch through the boredom. Normal people stop when things are boring. That's why, you know, they have to go to a 9 to 5. No disrespect, we need those people, but you know, then you don't have to constantly develop, constantly stay ahead of the herd. You know, I'm doing this to keep my brain at 47 working like a locomotive, like a 16-year-old on steroids. I don't know if those people exist, but probably they do exist somewhere. A 16-year-old on steroids. I'm actually imagining myself when I would be 16. At 16 I was a total, I could say a Looney Tune. But anyway, it is a long time ago. 16, let's calculate. That is 31 years ago. Yikes. 1, 2, no. So 2 times pull-ups, knee raises. Why always the knee raises? Well, I always believe when you're anyways going up and down, you know, why not increase it, the gain. And again, yes, some people might think, yeah, why don't you do muscle up and swing around like a wild baboon? Well, first of all, I don't want to swing around, simply I don't want injuries. I do muscle up sometimes, but this is something that I pretty much do as a basic of everything. So normally if I would do this, then I would do 10 or 15 kilometers run, or I visit multiple calisthenic spots, and then yeah. Anyway, where was I? I don't know. I need to do the 2 times pull up with knee raise. And now this whole mental release of like almost we did the necessary daily stuff, and then a little bit the pike push-ups with a push-up on the end. I'm always like to do those legs on the outside. I don't know all those names of the exercises, but you can see I think hundreds of exercises that I pretty much do in the calisthenics playlist. Anyway, those are not the most exciting that you would think, oh god, they're like acrobats. No, for me, I just want, let's say at 47, feeling pretty clear, let's say somewhat in shape, and that I have the energy to keep up, let's say, with the younger generation, because I speak a lot with the younger people. I do believe that most people think that I have the energy of a 12-year-old, and it's not to brag. That's simply what I'm doing it for, and I'm just sharing. I never try to brag or whatever, because I always look at those people who do those ultra runs, right? Because yeah, this year I want to do a ridiculous long run for charity. I'm talking with some people about it, some businesses. Anyway, that's another story. We're not getting into boring business talk. Let's finish this. Did I already did the windmills? I don't know. Let's do them anyways. I think I did, but if not, so be it. Okay, so 1 time deep plus knee raise, 5 times knee raise on the parallel bar, 1 time pull off plus knee raise, cycle down, other daily regime, and then do some extra things like backward lunges. What I also like to do is those step up things, but there's no spot over here, so I'm going somewhere else for that. And then a nice coffee, plan a little bit today, do some calls. I think we do one and that's it. Let's see. So at least that is done deal. Let's do a little bit extra things. I'm actually thinking what to do. I'm actually really thinking what to do. Maybe that's it for this YouTube live, and then I'm doing a little bit willy vanilly things. There are also other people now, so that's also, I'm always trying to keep people, let's say, that they can do their thing without starting to get or feeling paranoid. See, that is also something, right? When those, how I would label them, those vloggers who go to areas and then film people. I understand that they film people who cause problems, but the thing is, you can go in many places where people are not causing problems, and you start filming them. They're also not gonna like that. And the thing is, it's nice to address a problem, but they don't do anything about it. I'm not saying that they're doing bad stuff, not at all, but I thought about this yesterday actually. You know, they go to any kind of freaking neighborhood, and I believe in many countries you just go over there and you put a camera in their faces. They're not gonna like it. You don't need to go to areas where so-called scammers are active for ages. How, you know, this is how I actually see it. And again, I got nothing against those vloggers. Yeah, they attract millions of views because people like to see problems instead of solutions, or be part of the solution that is even a level higher, right? It is entertainment somehow, but like I said, you know, you go to any kind of neighborhood, maybe wherever you live or wherever you watch it from, go to any kind of neighborhood, put a camera in somebody's face. I think, yeah, I had multiple times that people actually thought that they were on camera, and I always do it very private, but they thought that I was filming them, but also in one area, just a normal supermarket area. The guy comes, go away. So I just turn it off. But when I think then, and when you put the camera in those of so-called scammers and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I do understand that the scammers don't like them. See, I'm not talking anything, I'm not justifying anything of their behavior, but I do understand that people, the majority of people, don't like to have cameras in their faces. I think, and if you really think about it, I think it would be a nice test. See, I'm not gonna do those tests because, you know, when you make people feel bad, because that's what you do. Yeah, the scammers also make people feel bad, but you know, when you put them on camera and then just addressing the problem, it's just addressing the problem. Put more attention to it. I think the local population always is very aware of the scammers. But anyway, That's my thoughts about this. Because yesterday I also talked with somebody. She said, yeah, you know, because I said live streaming, and that person also said, yeah, we're not very used to it over here. But that person was pretty open-minded. But you know, when you got a group of people who are not really open-minded, and they don't have to be scammers, they just don't like to be on camera. I understand that. And again, those people are not scammers. And it's nice when you have this kind of, you know, content where people throw bottles at you to get away. I see the entertainment part, but I don't think it's a long-term subject. But anyway, that is my personal idiotic view on the world. I always like to see things from both sides. And again, I'm not justifying anything what scammers are doing, but yeah, normal people also don't like. I think if you walk in any kind of building where, let's say, 9-to-5ers would sit and you put a camera in their face, and let's say it like this, a group of 9-to-5ers sitting in some kind of area where they're doing their lunch, and you push them a camera in their face and then study them like, oh look, this guy is eating pizza, this guy is eating this and that. I don't think that they're gonna like it. You see a little bit what I'm trying to say over here. You don't need to be a scammer to get angry at a person who films you. I think it's a nice test. If some of those vloggers who like you know, to make people angry go to those lunch places where, you know, there's typical 9-to-5. Yeah, here in Bulgaria you got people in the mall. They're sitting then in groups with the team leader, you know, sits all there with an authority attitude. I think he's gonna tell you something to buzz off. So if you're watching this and you like to make people angry on the vlogs to get a lot of views, I do believe that would get a lot of views, you know, then you grab one and you would say, look at this pizza, he puts all kind of stuff on it that you shouldn't eat. I think he wouldn't like it. And this is not about, if you think about, scammers are busy with crimes, but if a person stuffs himself full with pizza and everything that you shouldn't eat on a daily basis, it's a crime against themselves. So anyway, I'm just rattling. We gotta go. Time to make some moves before I'm getting cold. That's it. Ciao for now. I think, no, I'm going to another calisthenics spot, I think. Let's see if it's busy over there.